Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our podcast, which doesn't have a name yet because we still haven't came up with one because we forgot all about it. I am Rito Moon, also known as Corbinik, and today we are brought to you by Today we are brought to you by
Subway.
Yeah, no, don't advertise.
I don't like Subway.
Well, we're here with. Okay. Oh, you want me to say the names? Okay, sorry.
And today we have here Dirt 14.
We have
Yes, I am here.
Burke 163
Over on Cloud 9.
and our special guest today, who will probably be a new member to this podcast, Shadow Wolf. Woo! Hello. I'm gonna insert a party clap here. I'm gonna insert a slow clap here, guys.
All right. Okay.
So
this is our slow clap section.
On today's cast, the majority of us played through, kind of half-assed it, a game called Gunstar Super Heroes. It is a very ungenreified game for the Game Boy Advance. I don't know what you would classify it as. It's a shoot-'em-up-ish action platformer, if you could call that a genre.
Let's shoot 'em up.
And me, Gerdat, and Burke played some of it. Gerdat played more than me and Burke because me and Burke couldn't tolerate the game, but
we'll be getting to that.
Yeah, and
we'll get into that later.
Yeah, and
Oops.
So Cloud and Shadow both did a good amount of research on it, so we
much more than us who actually play the game.
Yeah. So yeah. I guess we should get started on some things we didn't like about the game first.
What's the bottom line?
Well, what do you mean?
What is the general opinion?
Well, my opinion personally
is that the game sucks.
My opinion personally, I hated it. I wanted to burn it in a fire, make sure it rotted.
My personal opinion is that this game soured my opinion of Gerdat, and that I am now hiring a hitman to destroy Gerdat for making me play this game.
Gerdat, what was your opinion?
My personal opinion is
it doesn't matter.
My personal opinion is that this is not my first time actually going through it. This is actually my second time, and I love this game. I do agree that it has a lot of flaws, but I don't see all the flaws that these guys are complaining about.
I mean, the biggest only two buttons in the game
is that I can literally hold the B button and pull like a sticker on my left thumbstick, and I will beat the level.
Actually, what does IGN say about the game? Like, does it give a number rating?
It was like a 9.
It's amazing.
Yeah, they gave it like a 9 out of 10 or something, which I don't.
9 out of 10.
I don't understand why. I found the game oversimplistic and just overall boring.
Yeah,
now you know why no one fucking trusts IGN anymore.
What are you talking about, Gerda? We trusted you.
Because IGN is a reputable source.
Yeah. I mean, Shadow, for the short little while that you did see of the game, what was your thoughts on it?
Well, when I was reading about it, it's actually a sequel to the game Gunstar Heroes.
The original game was amazing. The original game was brilliant.
The Sega Genesis one.
That game was amazing.
And yeah, that's what people were trying to expect out of this game. But from what people are saying, I mean, the graphics look great. I mean, it's a great concept, but I don't think they pulled through.
I mean, I did like the graphics. The graphics were pretty cool. It was just, from what I played, Gerda tells me otherwise, but the storyline was pretty much non-existent. It was pretty much like, go through levels, shoot people, win games. Question mark, profit. You know, is like, there wasn't anything to it. But apparently Gerdat says on the harder difficulty, I only went through it I went through it easy and then halfway on the second character on normal, and you know, hard boss was hard.
Make it halfway, folks.
Hard boss was hard.
Hey, I made it to the second moon where you're playing a game where you're vehicle shooting stuff.
Yeah, Galaga.
You're playing Galaga.
Yeah.
Galaga.game.
But it just felt like a very. I wouldn't say it was bad. It just didn't appeal to me. It just seemed very bland. Now, there were a couple serious problems with the game, in my opinion, and I think the general consensus here for anybody who played it, the chicken minigame. Shut up. The chicken minigame after the first level.
That chicken minigame makes no sense. What the hell? Why are you saving chickens?
I have to agree. That part is bullshit, and it needs to go away. It's not that it's difficult; it's that it doesn't fit in anywhere else.
I died on that part, actually.
You're bad. How did you die there? I mean, I got hit a couple times.
Die there. It's easy to die there. All you gotta do is not realize where the hell they're spawning from, which you can get if you're new.
Well, pretty much what the chicken minigame was. So you're in this, I guess, stereoscopic cylinder, and whenever you move, the cylinder moves. And you have to collect 20 chickens, I believe it was. Or was it 15?
Chickens for the fate of mankind.
15, but yeah.
Yeah. It was 15
Obviously.
or so. But you gotta collect them and bring them back to the gate. Only problem is there's these huge things that sprout tails and smack the chickens out of you every time you try and get to the gate. And
so, ideally you are Sonic.
Ideally, you are trying to do something pointless, saving chickens to save the earth, you know. And I just... The second I saw that, I was like, "Why is this even the game? It doesn't have anything to do with anything. It didn't make much sense.
It wasn't
to put
practical.
It there. Yeah, it wasn't
Again,
practical.
the story doesn't make much sense either.
I mean, I didn't see the chicken minigame, but from what I gather, this is a game that takes itself seriously, and putting in something that makes absolutely no sense it just feels a little out of place, in my opinion.
Very out of place.
Now, another problem I saw with the game is every character in that game, every single one is named after a basic color. Like they didn't even try and be clever with it by naming, unique color names like magenta or teal. It was red, blue, gray, purple. No, was purple in there?
No.
Okay, no, sorry. Pink,
Oh.
green, orange. Just like
I always forget yellow.
Corb, you're not citing this as a problem, are you?
I do find it a problem because it's like, why? It was so stupid, and I couldn't remember any of the characters. Well, I knew who they were by the second I saw them because they were all, stereotypically what their color depicts them as. So.
Not really. Orange didn't really make that much sense. He wasn't orange.
Well, what characteristic do you consider orange?
Bulky.
I mean, red is pretty obvious. Somebody who has a fiery temper. Blue, somebody who's somber.
You what do you mean? Very depressed,
And-
like a Gerdat?
Yeah, like a Gerdad. Yellow, it represents a loli.
What?
That's pretty obvious.
Yellow usually means like happy.
Yeah, Burke, where are you getting at?
Well, I have a very good source. Somebody very close to the development cycle of this game. Who stole this information to me.
And I mean, Gerdat, did you mind the names at all?
I didn't. In all seriousness, I'll admit that it didn't add to the story, but I don't think it's subtracted from it.
I don't know. I just found it very simplistic.
Well, if I could cite a reference to the use of colors as names, Reservoir Dogs, 1992 by Quentin Tarantino, one of my favorite movies of all time, features Mr. White, Mr. Orange, Mr. Blonde, Mr. Pink, Mr. Brown, and Mr. Blue.
I mean,
All gangsters that end up getting killed in the story.
but they were more like code names. In that game, that was their actual names. It
Well,
was.
you don't know that.
Well, it was. That's what they were. That's what they were named as.
Actually, Green's name, if you actually play through normal mode, you find out his name is in fact Green. So, yeah, we are meant to assume that their names are their actual first and last names.
Yeah, and I found that really stupid. Because, I mean, with gangsters, they usually were, given nicknames so that, it was easier to call out to them, so you didn't have to give out their real names. And with that game, it's just like, look, my name is, a Palette of the Rainbow. I'm broken,
All of a sudden, they're like Pokemon characters where the names are red and blue.
Yeah. No, and the next thing you know, after 10 years of playing the game, you finally realize, Oh wait, the original talents in Pokemon were named after the freaking art palette. Ho ho ho! Palette Town. Oh yeah, Lavender.
Wait, pal.
Oh no, that isn't like.
Got that.
I actually didn't know that. That's pretty hilarious.
You guys are dumb. So did you guys notice there was let's see, you had Pewter City, which I don't really know if that's the color or not.
Pewter is
Pewter?
gray.
Oh, it's gray. Then there was Cerulean, and
Blue.
what was the third place? Surge.
Vermilion with yellow,
Vermilion, yeah. Then there was Fuchsia,
which is purple,
and then there was Lavender Town,
which is also purple.
and what was Sabrina's town? That was Fuchsia.
Green was it wasn't
Viridian,
Saffron,
Viridian.
Celadon.
What?
Zelda.
Celadon,
Yep.
Saffron,
Saffron is also
Cinnabar.
purple. Cinnabar is red,
Yep. And so on, and then the Indigo Plateau, which
which is blue.
blue. Well,
We
purple
forgot
is
about
blue.
Viridian, which is also green.
Yeah, Viridian, and you know, that was kind of clever. People didn't realize that for 10 years. But in Gunstar Super Heroes, let's just make it blatantly obvious. You get to choose if you want to play as red or blue in that
Does
game.
anybody actually remember what the story in Gunstar Super Heroes supposed to be about?
It's about. Well, I don't know how it relates to the original, but from what I gathered, bad guy has a plan to resurrect demon god to take over the world. Bad guy needs gems. Good guys steal the gems, so bad guy can't use them.
So every other RPG of that same storyline.
Also Sonic.
I mean,
yes, Sonic, exactly.
yeah. Oh God.
Especially Zelda.
Oh yeah, Zelda 2. Well, that's more like
Well,
getting
like
Triforce
MacGuffin.
pieces, but still, yeah. I mean, I just the way I see the game is, I loved the original Gunstar Heroes. That
The
game,
original was awesome.
the original was amazing, and with this game, I just found it too very.
I think also we have to give a little bit of breathing room just because Gunstar Heroes was on a console. This is a portable console, so there's limitations.
Now, I can understand that, but when the first time I ever played this game, and my first playthrough through, I beat the game on easy mode, admittedly, in under an hour.
Same.
Now, honestly,
I
that
played it
kinda
for
sad.
5 minutes.
Now, honestly, and then after I beat it, you know, I started the game playing as red, so I just wanted to get a basis of it. I started playing as blue. There's nothing different except blue's gun is blue and red's gun was red, and then they have the other two same guns. And then I played this on normal, and then I got stuck at green, who is admittedly the hardest boss in the game.
Yeah,
So-
I saw how hard green was.
Yeah, and I just couldn't do it. And it just
Isn't he on the cover of the game?
Actually, he is.
yeah. And I'll probably put up the cover for the game as the picture for this podcast, just so you guys can see it, you know, or find some, you know, just art of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
We definitely
covers
won't
all
be
the
using
characters.
Magikarp again.
Yeah, no, Magikarp was our last minute savior. I mean, it just felt like they tried to make the game too simplistic in my mind. It's just, I like games. I just don't like. I like simple games. I just don't like them when they're overly simple.
Now, just to clarify, by simple you mean, well, you were complaining that it's all you have to do is hold the B button.
You do.
Which is
It's a
true.
2-button game. You hit down. You hold down on B, and you use your D-pad to move, and then you use A to jump. That's the whole game for you. You don't. I don't think you ever use the left or right buttons. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gerdat. I don't think you
You
ever.
were very wrong. Very, very wrong.
Oh, okay, no, sorry,
If you
sorry,
wanna
no,
get through
no,
that
sorry,
combo,
sorry,
you
sorry,
have to
sorry, sorry.
switch
You use
weapons.
you use the left button to switch your guns, which you only get 3 of, and they never change.
Wait, you can switch guns?
Yes.
Yes.
And I don't know what the right button did exactly.
The right button doesn't actually work in the standard control setting.
Oh well, good. I didn't know that.
Derp.
I'm
And-
serious. In order to beat this game, you have to go into the options and switch on the control settings. It was a dick move by the developers, and I'll complain about it. But if you do this, the game becomes a hell of a lot easier. Mainly because on the alternate control setups, you actually get access to the super weapons, which I'll go over what they do at another time.
Now, another complaint I had with the game, the music, it wasn't very
I'll agree, the music was not memorable, but it wasn't bad. It was just
It was just
there.
standard.
It added, but it didn't add
sound.
much.
It was your standard art. It was your standard Japan game add-on. In a way, it wasn't like any Nobuo Uematsu music or
It was good rock, but it wasn't memorable rock.
Yeah.
It's not like something that you're gonna be jamming out to on your MP3 player.
What you know about that? But
I didn't really get to hear the music. Is it like synthesized music from like a similar 16-bit game though?
Kind of, but not really. They are. You can tell that there are different instruments in there, but they're not a lot of different instruments. I think there's maybe a total between 3 and 4 instruments used throughout the entire game, and they are heavily synth, but it's not bad. It just isn't memorable.
I'm really starting to wonder why we didn't play one of the really awesome Game Boy Advance games. Like, I don't know, Metroid Prime Fusion.
Yeah, that's a great game.
But
we chose this game.
All of us have already beaten.
I haven't.
And you left it up to me to pick the game.
I haven't. But
I
this
haven't
isn't about Metroid Fusion. This is about Gunstar Super Heroes.
Can we make it about Metroid Fusion?
No, sadly. Now, I mean, I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything else really bad about the game except what I've already stated. Did anybody else have any other issues like you, Gerdat? Well, Cloud, you do.
I definitely have an issue with how I have to complain about certain instances in this game, namely 2 specific bosses.
Green.
And these bosses are bad for the wrong. These bosses are bad for the wrong reasons and for totally different reasons. The first boss I want to complain about is Green.
Green.
Because just like in the last game, when someone gets the 7th force, you know you're in for a tough fight. The problem is, if you play through the levels chronologically, Green is the third guy that is the third moon level. So he's the fourth big boss you fight, and you just got done kicking Orange's ass, and Orange is ridiculously easy, and Green rapes you.
Yeah, no
kidding.
He notches the difficult up.
Any of his powered forms, you lose.
Yeah,
and he's got 3 of them.
He notches up the difficulty about 10 times at least. From compared to Orange or compared to any other bosses previously, he's just like he's an unexpected punch to the stomach. Like
he is that one boss of this game.
When I played him on easy, he gave me some problems. I'd never died, but I beat him, so I was like, okay. When I got to him on normal, I lost to him about 5 or 6 times until I was at the point of breaking my mouse. So I closed the game before.
Same here. I just got past Green like last night on normal mode, and you have to change your control scheme if you're going to do this. You have to know what to do with your super weapons. You have to know when to dodge. And Green is a very, very big pain in the ass boss. The main problem with him, like everyone else knows, if you've actually fought Green before, is he has 7 different forms that you have to defeat. And the first time you fight him, you have to defeat 4 of these forms. He chooses these forms at random, so it is possible for you to go through
his easy forms
a fight without him picking any of his superpowered forms. If you do this, hope to God you don't die, because there are fights where he'll go into 2 of his 3 superpowered forms in a row and just openly obliterate you.
Yep, like his Phoenix-ish.
The Falcon and Soldier forms especially. Soldier is evil because it hits the entire freaking screen at various angles. Eagle is hard because you can't actually shoot at him without taking significant amounts of damage.
Yep.
Then you got his cat form, which covers up the whole screen but is at least dodgeable. His crab form, which is a joke. You can seriously dodge that the first time, although the second time you fight him in the boss rush, it's a lot harder. His urchin form, also a joke. He just spins around and around, and you kick his ass. And his other crab form, which you can do on the horizontal sections. Another issue with the Green fight is you have to fight him in 3 different areas: 2 horizontal and a vertical sections.
Yep.
And he's got like 3 different forms that he can use in each of these sections.
Yeah. So he was just like he was
gonna do, and you can't really prepare for it. If you get lucky, congratulations. If you don't, you're going to die.
He was just unnecessarily hard.
That I really have to complain about is the last boss of the game. And spoiler alert, very large spoilers. The final boss is gold and silver. And the reason I have to complain about this boss is that he's so fucking easy. If you know what you're doing, you can be hit and have invincibility throughout the entire fight and not take damage. I went through it on normal mode, and I came in with 20 hit points, and I left with 15. He has 1,000 HP. You should not be able to do this. The last boss can be a pain if you get hit with the wrong things, but even then, the wrong thing does 9 points of damage over everything else, which does 1/4 of 1 point of damage. And the last boss is ridiculously freaking easy.
Another thing I want to bring up is, after I beat the game on easy, there really wasn't any, I didn't really find the gameplay so game-breaking that I wanted to play through it more and more. When I started playing through...
Unless you're an obsessive-compulsive.
When I started playing my blue playthrough, it was just like, the first couple levels are the exact same, and granted, I only got up to green on normal, but it was just like... I've done this already. Wait
a minute.
Well, isn't that where you have to?
I'm just barely looking at this green boss fight, and this looks like the exact same boss fight that was on the one on the Sega Genesis.
It is.
It is.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that guy was really annoying. The Sega Genesis one. He has like 100 forms.
7.
7, yeah.
100 forms.
7.
21. But
it's 21.
Blackjack. I'm sorry. But
speaking of blackjack, the only other real complaint that I have to go about is the dice casino level. Ugh.
Oh.
Now, again, I just beat it on normal mode today before we were getting ready to do the podcast, and this game will kick your ass if you don't know what the hell you're doing. While Black himself is not hard to beat, he seriously isn't. You can kick Black's ass every day and night with very little HP if you know what the hell you're doing. His level is a pain in the ass. Black's level is the only level that I can actually complain about because all the other levels so far, except on hard mode, are ridiculously easy. Like Corb said, hold the V button and move. The boss fights don't allow you to do that. You actually have to plan your placement and, hope to God you don't get hit at times. But Black's level doesn't work like that. Black's level, this is going to spoil a lot.
Oh, he's the game board.
Yeah, you have to roll dice in order to get through there, and if you screw up or if you fall through,
you have to fight like 4 bosses.
To the next stage, and there's a boss gauntlet in that if you don't know how the hell to get through.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to fight at least 2 bosses.
Yep.
Probably more.
Now,
and one of the areas, I swear to God, isn't even pass throughable. Ugh. But yeah, the game board is annoying, but it's still technically doable. But it is the hardest platforming section in the game because it's not actually platforming; it's a boss gauntlet.
Now,
are there any bottomless pits in this game?
No,
there are, but they don't kill you.
Oh, yep.
Only Black's Casino has bottomless pits, and they just send you to the next area.
Now, I don't want to totally ruin this game's parade, so I want to start giving it some positive feedback. One of the things I did like about the game is the graphics
the font was very nice.
Shut up, Burke. The graphics were, they weren't, ooh, look, this is a freaking 1080p HD, looks like real life game. But the graphics were just, they had some just kind of charm to them that I was like, I like these. These are nice. They were crisp, and I mean, some of the enemy sprites look kind of, just normal, but
copy paste.
Yeah, no, really, the standard soldier enemy, copy paste, drop from everywhere. And oh wait, that's another thing I want to say though. If you don't know what you're doing in the first level, you can honestly believe that there's an unlimited amount of enemies dropping down at you if you don't realize to move on. Because I was sitting there for about 4 minutes until I realized, oh wait, I can move to the left and advance through the level.
I think a lot of players are going to have that same issue, though. It's like, well, the arrow is gone. Maybe I'm just supposed to sit here and kill these guys.
Yeah.
No, the invisible wall that was there is gone now. Go.
Yeah. I found that kind of bad. But aside from that, I mean, there was good stuff to the game, like the graphics. I mean, I enjoyed the graphics, and it never got to the point where it just looked everything in that game is colorfulish, so it never looked like everything was just meshing together in the background. You could distinctly tell other stuff from each other. So I enjoyed that. And
Do you guys think that this is for the casual gamer?
yeah.
Easy mode, definitely. Anything past that, oh fuck.
Well, no.
Yes.
The way I see it, if the casual gamer likes easy mode, it means that the casual gamer will start liking this game, which makes them more of a player for the game. And the more they play the game, the more they'll be able to advance on through the game modes. And that makes them more and more inept with this type of game, even though this is
Apt,
pretty much a
not inept, apt.
apt. Shut up. I know my English.
Obviously.
Shut up. And, you know, I mean, I feel that for the casual gamer, it's not like anything super hardcore that, you know, it's not like a fighting game where you have to be super inept. Why do I keep on saying that word?
Apt.
Super, no, that's not even the word I'm trying to think of, but it's like you're into it. It's not like a fighting game where you have to be into it to be, you know, wanting to play it, like, just anything, any type of genre nowadays, shooter, first-person shooters, fighting games, racing games, anything. It's not one of those type of games that you have to be into the shooter, platformer, action genre of games, rotating, collect chicken.
Collecting.
Yeah, chicken collecting genre. You don't have to be into that genre, whatever, but
it helps.
yeah.
So would you say that, like, coming into this game from a new gamer's perspective, would this be like a good game to like get into hardcore games?
No, not at all.
I gotta agree with Corb here, mainly because this game has got too many styles in it, and only the shooter platformer is emphasized. If you were to actually, you know, focus a bit more on those other styles and remove some of those styles, then this might actually be good for a casual to go into hardcore, because it would get you, you know, into a point where you could say, okay, I'm decent enough at this section, maybe I can find games that are like this section that I could enjoy
But
playing.
I have to ask, if you're trying to make the transition from casual gamer to hardcore gamer, why would you be playing a Game Boy Advance game?
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, but no, the way I see it, I feel like this game was made for the the 90s kids who, you know, grew up with this game.
Corb,
Serious.
What's the original one?
This is an 0305 game.
Original one.
Original.
The original one was what, a 99-98 game?
I don't think so. I think it was more like for the Genesis. For the
Genesis.
Genesis. That's probably more like 90.
96.
I'm gonna say
96,
97
97,
at
yeah.
earliest.
You're gonna make me look this up, aren't you?
1993.
Keep going.
1993.
Really?
Alright, I
But it
apologize.
said Genesis.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel that this was more for people who were fans of the game back then, and
I suppose.
It's not even really a bad game, it's just that I didn't care for it.
And Gerda, oh sorry, I just wanted to let Gerda know that this game was re-released in the Gunstar Heroes Treasure Box collection for the PS2 in 2006, and it was added to the Wii's Virtual Console in 2000, and it's also available on there. And in 2009, it was released on the Xbox Live Marketplace and in the PlayStation Network as well. Just wanted to throw in a little fact there.
Okay.
And this game actually came out in 2005. So
Yeah.
Now, what I was reading that when this game was released, it actually had a big reception. That people who were fans of the old series, they were really excited for it. But I'm not quite sure they got the game they wanted.
yeah, I mean it's kind of like the original one. It just seems a lot more compressed.
It's just the fact that with the system that you were playing it on, it was very, very, very basic. It was a very basic form of the game that people played in the Genesis.
Well, let's talk about some specifics. Do you guys know if they had infinitely spawning enemies in the first one?
Yep. Oh, in the first
Oh yeah.
one.
Oh god,
yeah.
the first one, it was really, really hectic. you have enemies just popping out of everywhere.
Yeah, you could get tricked in that game too.
And there was a lot more power-ups, and there was a lot of power-ups in the first one.
Yeah.
All right, and what about the like the way you do the levels? Do you start out with a certain amount of health, and then every hit you take that carries over to the next section of the level? Was that how the original one was too?
It was mostly just a level thing. You beat a level, you start a new level with full HP and all that.
Yeah.
So you always started with full HP?
If I remember correctly, you did.
Yeah.
But then again, it's been years since I've played the original game.
I played it a few months ago, but I don't remember really.
Cloud brings up a point that we were actually going to try and bring up. In Gunstar Super Heroes, the levels are actually progressed by sections. Like, you do a platforming section and then you go to a boss fight, or you switch over to another section. And how the game checks your progress is if you beat a section and actually make it to the next one, it will save your progress at the end of that section. However, by saving your progress, it saves the amount of time that it took you to get there, the score that you had, and your HP. That way, if you die at the platforming section, at the boss after the platforming section, you can simply skip the platforming section and go right into the boss. But it keeps track of your old HP. So if you need to go back and get more HP, you have to redo the platforming section all over.
That's why I don't think this is a game for the casual gamer. Like, you have to memorize the layout of the game in order to maximize your playthrough, or just even beat it on the harder difficulties, as I understand it.
I have to disagree with that, because for the second level, which is a very weird level, you're on top of a spaceship, and you can go left or right and spin circles and do all this fun stuff, but you could be upside down and not fall off. And the way I beat the level is I just kept the right button, the right directional pad all the way to the right, and I just spun and held down B the whole level, and I won. On normal, this is.
I'll admit, those specific sections are way too easy. Even the return of that type of section, you're lucky to take damage in those sections. In all seriousness, it would be a feat to actually die in those sections. I'm not kidding. Those are way too easy. They should have more enemies, and they should have more projectiles in there.
You know, I mean, it's just, I don't know. And the other thing I found pretty cool about the game, I did like a lot of the boss designs. A lot of the boss designs were, none of them really felt the same, and they were all pretty cool. The first boss, though, it was kind of random and unexpected. And then once you defeat it, it's this huge yellow robot. Spoiler alert, and you never see it again, I don't think.
Yeah, because you blowed it up.
But it was out of nowhere. You have no.
Well, it wasn't out of nowhere if you actually bothered to read the damn text.
That game had no story. It was terrible.
Yes, it does.
I kind of want to read a quote from it's called Video Game Daily. It's actually some praise on the game. It says, the gameplay of Gunstar Super Heroes retains much of the winning elements that made the original Gunstar Heroes such an instant classic, with more advanced specs of Game Boy Advance making it more visually impressive outing for this update.
Yeah, but they changed some things too.
Oh yeah.
Well, of course.
Now, here was the story for this game. Taking place after the destruction of the God of Rune, also known as Gold and Silver, at the end of Gunstar Heroes, the explosion created 4 moons orbiting the Earth. However, many years later, the creation of a 5th moon reveals a plan to resurrect the malevolent empire in Gold and Silver once again. Most of the new characters bear both the names and likeliness of their equivalents in the original games, such as Blue, Yellow, Green, Pink, Kane, Kotaru, Orange, Black, Gray, and Smash Daisaku. What a random name. The main characters combat the Empire under the organization of the Third Eye, abbreviated 3YE, under the names Red, female in the North American version, and Wait, Red was a female? Erp? I didn't know that. Under the names Red, female in the North American version, ambiguous, what? In the Japanese, Herp Derp, and Blue in recognition and tribute to the characters from the original game, and along with Yellow on the team, They're known as Gunstar Super Heroes, herp derp. The Gunstars must travel to the moon, stop the resurrected Empire, and capture the treasure gems. Oh look, it's Tonk the Hedgehog. 4 mystical stones known as, with unknown power that had driven the story in the last game. The game has different storylines based on what difficulty is chosen and which character the player is playing as. Now, as you can see...
And again, all those actually do... All that is seriously there. If you play as Blue, he is a bit more level-headed and emo, and there's a lot more backstory about the planets. If you play as Red, there's a lot more hate towards the Empire, and a lot of go blow shit up.
I mean, this game must be good because I mean it must just be me in my opinion. I didn't enjoy it, but
Or me.
it got reception as a really great game. It even got a couple best GBA game of E3 2005 awards, which is a good feat back then when the GBA was still the main handheld. And that was a big thing back then. Because wait, what came out? Was Emerald and Leaf Green released in 2005?
No. Emerald and Leaf Green, I think, were either 04 or 06. I'm not sure when.
But, yeah, they probably would have won that. But it sadly didn't sell very well.
Also, I think that if you're a sucker for anime, you might
Oh, yeah.
you might get drawn in by the cutscene visuals.
They are extraordinarily old school anime-ish.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys wouldn't mind, I do have a list of review scores if you guys would want to hear them. We have
a list of...
Yeah, OneUp.com gave it an A-. I guess they do an A through F scale. Electronic Gaming Monthly gave it a 7.67 out of 10. That's random. Eurogamer, 5 out of 10. I agree with that. Famitsu, 34 out of 40. Dying of Fire for me too. Game Informer, they gave them an 8.75 out of 10. Okay. GameSpot was an 8.9 out of 10. GameSpy gave it a 4.5. Wait, yeah, 4.5. IGN gave it a 9.
Out of what?
4 out of 5.
4. Okay.
IGN was a 9 out of 10. Nintendo Power was a 9.5 out of 10. Play Magazine was a 9 out of 10. And Yahoo Games, who doesn't even count because it's Yahoo Games.
Yahoo Games.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they did video game reviews.
Oh,
yeah, they do everything.
We also have two aggregate scores, which was Metacritic and Game Rankings. Game Rankings gave it an 83%, and Metacritic gave it an 83 out of 100, which is kind of ironic.
And the website I'm on, Video Games Daily, gave it a overall score of 8.7 out of 10.
Isn't Metacritic really just the score that everybody else gives it and what the average is?
Yeah, mostly. They keep score of the
But still, universally, this game is well-reviewed and well-received.
I guess it just must have been an opinion. I mean, I remember growing up with the original and I loved it. I just don't know. I just didn't feel this game, I guess.
I think it's just the fact that now I don't really care for mobile gaming, really.
Yeah, mobile gaming... GBA gaming has really died in my mind because we have the DS and the Nintendo DS, the Nintendo PSP, obviously, the Sony PSP.
I think if we probably reviewed this when it came out, we'd probably have a different opinion.
I mean, if we would have done this when this game first came out, when the GBA was still hot, I probably would have had more of a drive to play this game, more of a motivation, more of a.
If we would have done this when we came out, none of us would have beat easy mode.
If we all did this when this game first came out, I'd be 11.
Yeah, you wouldn't have beat easy mode.
I wouldn't even be able. I probably wouldn't even have a computer yet.
Exactly.
You
You
would have actually.
You would
have actually had to play the game.
You would all be in a summer camp, and
yeah,
Gerda would be our babysitter since he's the oldest out of us.
He's barely older than me.
Wait, no.
How old are you?
Wait, no, wait. Shadow. I don't know how Shadow is, so I can't say anything.
I'm gonna be 25 next month.
Damn.
Oh God, yeah, he's older than me.
You would have been
by 4 or 5 years.
Damn.
Or something.
So yeah.
Because I'm 19.
Shadow Wolf would have been the babysitter, and it would have been us 5, and Greta would be picking on me. And, it would have been a fun time.
I should be able to pick on you because you're the youngest out of all of us.
Shut your mouth.
Exactly, my point.
And, the genre this game got is a run and gun. or a shoot 'em up. Do you guys
Shoot 'em up.
do you guys agree?
I
Yeah.
definitely do. It's
Yeah.
it focuses on that, but it tries so many different things.
Well,
It
that's the thing though. Shoot 'em ups you don't need to stay in that same old formula. You can change it up, but it's still a shoot 'em up.
yeah, you can.
Oh, and the one thing I did like that they added, I like that they added close combat moves. So that when someone's in front of you, you just don't have to mow them down with your gun. Now you can hit them with your.
You
Yeah,
can,
but
you do that in
the
the
thing
original
is-
too.
Your melee attack is freaking useless.
It is.
Not really.
It's so fun to use though.
No, Burke, you will do more damage with your
Gun.
high-powered blaster than you ever will with that sword.
Yeah, well, at least it's a nice change of pace.
It is a nice change of pace, but it's so useless. The only, I know of like 2 uses for it in the entire game. Once, if you beat the plant boss in Moon 1 and
Yeah.
you hit it with your sword, it will drop power-ups, either health power-ups or super power-ups.
Oh wait,
And the same thing can be said about Black in the casino. If you beat Black and you hit him with the sword, he drops health power-ups and bombs.
another
but-
thing. Wait, Gerda, sorry. I want to go back to power ups before you go on. I found it so frustrating trying to pick up power ups in that game. I don't know what it was, but they give you like maybe a second to pick them up. 2 seconds to pick them up, and then they disappear. Now, to pick up an item, you have to jump. You have to be right over it. I mean, pixel perfect on top of it and press down and A. Was it?
Yeah, it's down in A, but it's not quite pixel perfect. As long as your foot is touching it, it should work.
But the game is so loose that they only give you a couple, like maybe 2 or 3 seconds to try and get it.
It's 3 seconds. It's 3 seconds, and then it fades out.
You know, and I found that annoying when I was trying to pick up all this health, and I tried running over to it, and I overrun it, and then it disappears. I'm like, rage.
Rage.
No, try it in Moon 3. It's even more annoying then when your stage is constantly moving.
Yep. Ugh. But, I mean, I probably would have liked it if I would have played it when it first came out, because I probably would have still had more memories of the original one, because it's been probably close to 9 years since I've played the original one. So, my memory still kind of faded on that. And, now I really do feel like downloading the original one. Well, playing the original one, and
First, we didn't use emulators. What are you
What are
talking
you
about?
talking about?
We don't.
We don't support illegal activity, kids.
Hey! Emulators aren't legal if you own the game. I am a proud owner of Gunstar Super Heroes. I drove a mile to my GameStop to pick up this game because it was so worth it. You know that, and so do I. We all did that. So, no legal business there. But, I mean, I
Support your local businesses.
yeah, GameStop. Support them. They just want to take all your money.
No, go to Media Replay. There's a cool dude there.
Media Replay. I don't think.
Go to this one media replay in like the middle of Michigan. Yes, I will drive.
Yes.
I will drive all the way
Also,
there. For that,
Do you guys remember?
because I believe you.
Cincinnati is now in Detroit. Remember that, guys?
Yes, I do.
No, you weren't here, Shadow. When Gerda was.
Oh,
telling
but I
us,
heard about it.
Yeah, Gerda was telling us the most amazing story about how Detroit is now in Cincinnati or something like that. But that's going off topic.
Yeah.
So, if you guys were to rate this game a 1 out of 10, what would you guys give it? You're that?
As much as I do really love this game, I do see all its flaws. I would probably give it an 8 out of 10.
Shut your mouth.
I would enjoy this game a hell of a lot more if the green fight from Moon 3 was instead of being the Moon 3 fight, I would prefer that to be the final boss.
Oh,
and
no.
instead put Green's boss rush fight as his fight in Moon 3. That would have made so much more sense.
When was the last time you guys actually heard me say anything?
A while.
A little bit ago.
I was muted.
Good
God
job.
damn it.
But
Damn it, I hate
Burke,
this microphone.
what would you-
I was tearing that game a new one, and then I went, oh, I'm muted.
So, Burke, what would you
So
give, what
anyway-
would you give this game a 1 out of 10?
I'll give it I would say it's comparable to Duke Nukem Forever, and I would give it a 3 out of 10.
That makes no sense, but okay.
You haven't even played Duke Nukem
I
Forever yet.
know. Burke?
I know. I want to be a cool kid because
Well,
it's cool to hate on it.
I mean, I have to give the game some respect. I thought it was too easy until I got to green on normal mode. So I give some respect to that the game isn't a total breeze anymore. So the gameplay, while being linear and that, wait, before I do that, another thing was the all levels were super linear. There was no exploration at all. Just go straight down path. But regardless.
Well,
of that,
I gotta stop you there, because if you didn't explore all of Moon 1, you missed out on a lot of power-ups.
How do you explore, like...
Yes, it was a totally linear path, but if you didn't explore both the top and bottom levels, you missed out on a lot of health power-ups. Not that you need it, because pink is really freaking easy.
yeah. So
Now stand next to Cockpit, press the fire button, walk away, walk away.
I'd give the game a 6.5 out of 10. Just
I can't rate it, actually, because I haven't even really played it.
You already gave it a 3.
Yeah,
I was joking for the most part.
I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10, just because I liked the graphics. A lot of the boss designs were cool. The game wasn't a total breeze like I expected, but I didn't like the linearity. I didn't really care for the simplicity and just the. I guess I was just expecting too much, maybe, but that's pretty much any game nowadays. You're expecting too much out of it.
Maybe you're expecting a console game on a Game Boy.
Cloud and Shadow, based on your expert research on this game, what would you give it?
Well, since I actually didn't get to really play it, but I've actually seen a lot of like the images. I've heard your reviews. I've read some other reviews. I think this game actually deserves like a 7.5 out of 10.
All right.
Cloud?
I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
No explanation. 7 out of 10. Final answer.
7.
Because it feels like a 7.
Oh, you felt it up, huh, Cloud?
Emotions everywhere.
Emotions.
God, this game is such an emotional wreck. Treats me like shit and doesn't buy me flowers on Valentine's Day.
We should do a podcast on Turok Evolution for the GBA.
No.
Is that your next pick, Bert?
I like that game, actually. I played that when I was a
Bad.
kid.
Shut your mouth.
That game was amazing.
Alright, guys. So I guess that's our basic conclusion on the game. We all gave it our own little standpoint on it, I guess mini reviews on it. So I'd like to see you guys listen in next week while we do some game that Greta will not be picking out this time.
Yes, Greta's not picking our next game. For sure. Ever.
Yeah, we banned him from being able to pick out games. So
I suck.
yeah, so next week expect a good review on a game.
Like, maybe, my brain just...
We're gonna play. Next week expect Mappy Land. No, I'm just kidding.
Mappy Land.
Superman 64.
Yes.
If we can actually manage to beat that game.
Bubble Bobble 2.
Bobble.
Hell yeah, Bubble Bobble.
Actually,
Let's do that.
I would love to do one on Parappa the Rapper. No, that'd be amazing.
Oh God. Well,
I suck at that game though.
I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I'm Corbinick.
I'm Gurdette14.
I'm Burke163.
Oh.
I'm Shadow Wolf.
I'm over on Cloud9.
And I'd like to.
And this has been Dudes Without a Name Reviews.
Yeah. Next week we'll have a snappy.
Next
review
week we
thing.
might have a name.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's gonna be Corbin and the guys.
Check out our channel. Shadow Wolf
Yeah.
is thinking about doing an abridged series. Corb isn't actually doing anything.
I will eventually.
I am thinking about becoming a YouTube phone sex operator.
Which would be fucking awesome. It would.
And over on Cloud9 here, he
is doing RE4.
Hey, Gerda, shut your mouth. Over on Cloud, you talk too much. Over on Cloud9 is currently doing a couple Let's Plays. He just finished his Plants vs. Zombie Let's Play, and he's now working on Resident Evil 4, and don't tell me I know this, Fable 2. So,
Fable 2.
And unlike me, he is not just having sex in that game. He is having orgies.
Yeah. Berkey thinks that the whole purpose of the game is to go to Bowerstone and just have sex with every female he sees. So
That is the point of the game.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
so
I have achievements that prove
we,
it.
we all say our goodbyes, and then we have another conversation about having sex in Bowerstone. What?
This podcast has no structure. That we have that realization.
All right.
You can always swing over by my channel, listen to some of my voice covers.
You have to give me your channel name. I'll put it in the description. I didn't know you had one.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, yeah, no, that'll be definitely in there. So, yeah, as he said, go check out his channel, and my channel will be the channel that this video is posted on, so you can see all the uncompleted Let's Plays. Woo!
Check out my channel as
Why
well.
don't you finish Mega Man 2?
Because I have to re-download the game and get back to Wily Castle, and this is dragging on. Stop.
So and check out my
No,
YouTube
don't do it.
page
He has
with
nothing in
lots
there.
of amazing videos. Rook163.
All right,
I'm a
guys.
very active YouTuber.
Thank you for watching. This is going to be the end of the video.
Be safe, guys.
Be safe,
May
fans.
you two know the name of the king.
No.